Hello and welcome to the Backstage Plus show, the show where we go behind the scenes. Today's guests are the developers of Ethra. The first question, obviously, is can you introduce yourself and what your game is about?
Well, I'm Vicky. We started this game, which is called now Ethra. Before it was called Scalestone Seekers, but as the project, also the name is constantly changing. I think we already like this name a lot, so we're keeping with Ethra.
I think it's a good.
Yeah, we also really like it right now. I think this is the final name. We are looking subtitle, but no yet. We are keeping Ethra right now. And we started this game technically we started making games on 2018, and with a very basic concept, just 2D. Then we were expanding to 3D with no camera moving around the player. We moved to right now, 3 years ago, we added the camera moving. We moved with the scale with the game, everything. And right now we are in a path that we really like what we got. We are going for a action RPG with some sandbox elements and exploration, action combat. We are looking into making housing and farming and trading between towns, all the stuff. So it's like a very big scale game. It's what we have been working on the last 3-4 years. So yeah, that's what the game is about.
How did your game dev journey start and what inspired you to make this game?
Okay, so 5 years ago, a video showed up in YouTube about how to make game I think it was we thought it was interesting and we started just for fun, and eventually we realized that it could be a really fun project to stay with for the run, and past realizing it, we are 5 years now making games.
So it's just something that kind of happened?
Yeah, also posting on Twitter, all that stuff, getting a lot of feedback also from Reddit. On the beginning was Reddit, the main feedback source that we had, because on Twitter we just have 10 followers, something like that. So we started posting more on Reddit first, and from all the feedback we got there, helped us keep going with the game, and it's like a child for us. It's constantly thinking of game. Doesn't matter what I am, always the game is on our mind. So it's like a super hobby. I mean, hopefully it could be your dream job. So
is there let me think, is there any game specifically that you're inspired by?
A lot of games. I would say the top 3, Gil, correct me if you want to add to the list. For me is Zelda, Elder Scroll.
What was the first game?
Zelda, The Legend of Zelda.
Zelda.
Skyrim, also Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
as well as Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley. But the top 3 for me are those.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, I forgot the question. Yeah, so did you guys start out with wanting to make a really small game, or was what was the vision in the beginning, or did you expect to be working on this for a long time, or did
No
you just
way.
Did you just make a small mini game at first, or?
We started with, do you know Enter the Gungeon?
Oh, Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We started with something like that. To this sprite, a gun to shoot people. We thought it wasn't very original because there was already Enter the Gungeon in the market. So we started playing around with things, and
one of the first reasons is we got very bored of the game. We started adding stuff. I think it's fun, so we added a lot of things. I think from different games. This is fun. Then we went for open world because I love making. One of the things I like the most is making the world. So we decided we want to go up to make a full open world game. But we are still. Before we were thinking about maybe big zones with loading screen or maybe full world, so we decided to go with something in between. That may change right now because right now we're making different biomes, so they might not be corrected. They may be connected, not corrected. Connected with transport, for example. We have a desert and we also have an island. We have something more with the snow on the north, so maybe we connect that with fast travel or with road or something. We still don't know. So the game started with something like Enter the Gungeon, and we start moving on with open world. Then we wanted to make something more fantasy and medieval, and until we got something we love. First also was RPG and turn-based combat, and we changed that to action combat because I myself like more action combat, and there are in our style sprites in a 3D world. There are no action combat. I think we are the only one right now. I haven't seen other. So
I think there's one, but it's very different. It's not really an RPG as far as I know.
I haven't seen it. But yeah, with sprites in a 3D world, I haven't seen any action combat. And we're trying to make it like that. I think we got something that is working, so we are happy with it. We're still making the combat, fixing the stuff, making it feel good, and that's what we're going. combat, exploration, and things to interact with the world, like trading, farming, quests, all the stuff.
Yeah, was there like a concrete plan from the beginning, like what you wanted to do, or was it just like, oh, this is fun, let's add this, and this is fun, let's add this?
Yeah, that was in the beginning until maybe 2 years ago. We got now what we want, so now we have like a plan, and we are going with that.
So you have like the basic foundation laid out?
Yes, now we have.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to write lore and all the stuff of the game.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Are you planning to publish like the lore on Twitter and stuff, or is it going to be kept a secret until the game is out?
We are going to start posting on Discord, but on our Discord. We just talked this like a week ago, and we want to start writing the lore. We got some friends that can help us write it because we suck at writing. So yeah, we got some friends that are gonna help us with that. So yeah, we want to start posting on Discord the lore.
That sounds really nice. I'm looking forward to that. What are some challenges with making pixel art in 3D, and are there any techniques you've learned?
The most difficult thing in our case is adding depth animation. Since it's 2D sprite, you have no depth there, and since it's 3D, well, imagine in a 3D combat, you need to have proper view combat, so you know where you need to know when you have hit someone or how far away you are from. We somehow solved it. I think it's pretty.
It looks really good.
What I mean is now when you attack, the sword isn't. The sprite is 2D, but the weapon itself is 3D. So we added the depth with that 3D weapon, since the 2D sprite can't achieve that.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Also,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, we have keeping the pixel density is very important. Like all the pixel needs to be on the same size. That's also something you have to keep in mind. And the harder part for me, well, not the hardest, is actually making all the animations, because we right now making all the animation by each pixel by pixel for all the directions, which takes a lot of time. So that's something we got a system now. We are in the making that system, that we are going to model a character on 3D, and we're going to make all the animation on 3D and export those animations into sprites. So that's the new thing that people are doing now in these kind of games, and we need to do it because we have 8 directions, and animate all the direction. It's a lot of time. Also, it's very hard because of the depth, the skill set, all the stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, you already answered the question, is how did you make the sword swing look 3D? Follow-up question would be, how did you make the grass, pixel art grass?
Oh, the grass it's like normal 3D grass. Like instead of using a HD texture, we paint grass sprites, and it's put on Blender. You have an option that's called import image as planes. So it's a plane with the image of the sprite of the grass, and a bunch of planes crossed together, and then you add the shader to move like grass on Unity.
Is the plan to have everything in 2D? Because I saw like everything in pixel art, because I saw some models were still mainly 3D.
Well, almost is 3D the game, except the characters.
Yeah, we're gonna go for all 3D except the characters. Maybe some monsters. Like right now we're working on a very big monster.
Oh no, I mean like the textures. Are they gonna, or like is the plan to have like everything in like a pixel art kind of style?
Oh yeah, everything's gonna be pixel art. Everything.
How has the style changed over time, and what lies behind those decisions? Like for example, in the beginning the characters looked more goofy and now they're more serious. What's like the reasons behind
At
that?
the start, we didn't know how to do pixel art properly, so we learned along the way. Somehow it ended up well. It just happened.
There wasn't any like how do I say?
Well, we were working and we thought, hey, better we could work on this. We could.
So the goofy look in the beginning wasn't intentional?
Oh
No,
yeah,
it was
was
professional.
before we wanted to go for a more goofy style, more funny style. So the structure was made like that to match the funny style. But we decided that now we want to go with a serious world, full lore, a lot of lore on it, and that didn't match the style. So a lot of things were thrown away, like from 3 years ago. Most of that stuff we have reset this project a lot, and right now we know it's on the right path. Like it won't change much from this.
Actually, how often did you have to reset the project?
Like 2-3 times maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say at least 3 times.
Yeah, while changing the project, had anything about the vision of your game changed from when you started working?
Mostly maybe the scope. Like a small scope, then we went for a very big scope, then again we went from a smaller scope, and now we are not too big, but it's actually big. But we have a lot of things done. Many of the things we have done we haven't shown on Twitter because they are not really presentable yet. But we have a lot of mechanics done, and a lot of stuff done. So yeah, we need to work more on the world. We have to expand much more the world. But yeah, the scope now it's kind of big.
Kind of could tell when you mentioned there's like farming and battling and everything. I guess how do you, from like a game design perspective, how do you balance those different aspects? Is it like, can different kinds of players choose what kind of style they want to?
I think it's oriented more into exploring and combat, but people can choose if they like a side activity if they want to farm to get resources and craft, and that's something people like a lot. We want to add that.
Yeah,
but the main point of the game is exploration and
because you can get the most important thing in the game is like money. With the money you improve your equipment, you can buy different furniture, you can improve your all the stuff, and you can get the money from many different incomes. I mean, one of them is exploring dungeon, all that stuff, fighting and selling the loot, and the other side is like more peaceful stuff, which is trading. We have a mechanic in mind that we are still working on. With your mounts, you can buy like carts. The mounts carry those carts, and you get or you buy from town and move it to other town, and you can do a special quest on those towns, like carry this special item to this town. While you get to that town, you can get attacked by bandits, all the stuff you gotta protect. And also the farming is a very peaceful way to get income. So yeah, you can choose, because the main character we're gonna go for the story is a normal person. He has no powers, nothing special. The one who gives all the special powers is the small black creature we have called Bale. He's the one that has the power, the magic, and he supports the player on the journey, makes him more powerful than the normal.
What was I gonna ask? No, I forgot. Different question. What's been the hardest challenge so far when making your game?
I'd say animating, because if you have to make an attack 8 times. If you have to make a walk animation, you have to do in 8 directions. Well, it's actually 5. Some of them are mirrors, but I'd say the most spent in this project animating, because there's a lot of things to animate. You have to do that 5 times more to match the direction.
Yeah, we have different perspectives, because Gil is the one who takes care of mostly all the animation. He's the one, actually he is now the pixel artist of the game. I do more of all the things in the world, as is what I do. So for me, the hardest part is to make everything make this style fit in a realistic world. Like, yeah, it's not, we're going for full 3D. Everything you see in the world, you can go there, you know? So that's the hard part for me.
Yeah, I remember the question. How do you make the open world interesting? What kind of, I guess, what is like your design philosophy for making a world?
I would say we're gonna make the world not too big and full of details. That's what we're gonna do. So that's the first thing, because having a huge world empty doesn't make sense. And all the activities you can make through the world, because the town are not just towns that you get there and you sell your stuff and all the stuff. You also get there to meet people. You can maybe find some different exclusive quests on that town. You can trade in it, and it's not like I go to the town, get to the shop, weapon shop, buy, leave. No more. You will come back through the first area is the area that start the game, and once you are done with it, you leave it. You can always come back, because we're gonna put, like, for example, you have a cave, and this cave, the first time you enter, maybe there is a rock block in it, and you can access it yet, but maybe later in the game you find a special power or something, a spell that helps you break that rock or move it, and now you can access that dungeon. So many of the world, you're gonna find stuff that I can access there yet. I want to go back and explore it. That's also
it's kind of like a Metroidvania almost.
We also want to make the world, the open areas, more interesting. Imagine you see some kind of stones with some eye-catching stones, so you start following them, so they lead you to an interesting scenes or something somewhere to get loot. Or so we want to make the world full of eye-catching things.
Yeah, we also don't want to add, addressing that, we don't want to add quest markers on a map. You gotta read, ask the people, and they will tell you how to get there with the eye-catching stuff you see. That's how you find the thing.
I guess this kind of leads to the question, in general, what kind of game design principles do you follow?
Game design principles?
I think we guide ourselves to, I think this is fun, because playing games for a long time, so
think
we
our-
kind of
our
know
main-
what we like.
Our
Mhm.
main principle for us is we are the first people that want to play the game.
Mhm.
So if we don't enjoy it, we are not done with it, you know?
Mhm.
So that's our first view of objective of the game.
Mhm.
We also want to play the game.
So what is the best part? Like, which part of the game do you enjoy the most then?
I'd say seeing everything come to life. An enemy that works properly and you can have fun in it. You can now we just make a sandboat in the desert so you can.
Oh yeah, so that
explore
looks
it about.
awesome.
Yeah, so when it's a lot of work, but when you see that working properly, it's a great feeling.
And as in, like, the game itself is the most fun to you to play?
I'd say the combat because we want to make that the most. We want to make the combat as in depth possible.
Right now, for me, the most fun is I don't play right now. We don't play much the game right now because it's still a lot to do to make it still be playable. Because we have a lot of things done. They are not connected yet.
Mm-hmm.
So like we have the quest system done, but we haven't made the NPCs to give you those quests. You know,
Yeah.
we have to work on that yet. So yeah, we don't have much to play yet, but until we start connecting all the stuff, so we will try to get the demo done hopefully before our Kickstarter. And yeah, but the most fun for me right now is when I finish an area and I explore it, I find things that I can jump on this roof. So maybe when I jump at this, I say, oh, maybe I can add a chest here, and people who find it get that loot. So that's for me the most fun. But it's not really playing; it's more designing it right now.
Since you got mentioned world building, what is your favorite area in the game so far?
For me, right now, I think the green area that we showed the most. That's right now my favorite because it's the one with. But we are also working on a more mountain with more verticality area with the snow that stuff is. And for me, it's maybe that one because like you can jump, grab edges. It's very early progress. But yeah, we're making the system with verticality that you can jump and grab edges and all the stuff. So that area right now has a lot of fun with that, but it's still very early. We haven't shown anything of it yet. But yeah, so of all we have shown right now is like the main area right now where you start the game is the green one. We show most of it on Twitter.
What about Gil? Is it the same for you?
Yeah, this area, the green area, like I mentioned, the one with more details. I really like one that was snowy. I like those colors. It's just not on the level of the green area. That one has too much detail.
Maybe in the future, which area do you think you will like the most? The snow area?
Yeah, and now we are focusing on the green one, but eventually we'll add everything to every.
But we are planning something on the desert one. May make it my favorite one. We haven't shown it yet, and it's a very big. It's like on the desert, you use the boat for not only for moving, but uses for hunting creature and moving the stuff around other. Because it's in an area that is called the Sea of Sun. We have a lot of work, and we are writing a lot about that song, how it works, and all that, why you can sail through that sun, all that stuff. And we are preparing something related on hunting with the boat that hopefully we can show in the next month. And that may make that my favorite area.
This is a question I ask a lot to a lot of people. What's your strategy to building a community around your game, like advertisement?
Well, that's something we have to improve actually, because we have our Discord. It's mostly dead. We don't know how to make content for the Discord. We are thinking how to improve that. But on Twitter, actually, it's posting as much as you can. Even if you have to repeat similar content, like maybe you post the month ago, that doesn't matter because a lot of people haven't seen that. And also using Reddit, find the good community that match your game and post on Reddit, as well as YouTube devlogs. They actually work we have only made 2, but both of those devlogs have worked really well.
Okay, so the last question is more of a fun question. If you had the chance to work in an RPG game, which one would it be and which area of the development would you be in?
For me, world building. Like open world building, that would be for me.
But if you had like the chance to work on an RPG game, like a big one, like in a AAA studio, which game would it be?
I think probably Elder Scroll for me, I think.
And Gil?
In my case, I would like to take part in the Nier series. It's a series that I love.
That was a question. Is there anything more you want to tell?
Well, we are now planning. We are getting our cover art done, like in the next 2 weeks, and with that we're gonna make we're gonna start making our Steam page, finish it because we already started, and the
Mhm.
Kickstarter. So as soon as we launch the announcement of the Kickstarter, people can start following the Kickstarter. So please, everybody,
Mhm.
help us make this game as soon as the Kickstarter announcement launches, please. And when it finally releases the Kickstarter, help us retweeting everything you can to market it, marketing, and help us spread the word for the Kickstarter.
Yeah. Do you have like a date when you plan to release the Kickstarter?
We know the month, July
Okay,
next year.
because if you had like a July, okay, that's not like next year, right?
Yes, because we wanna.
Because I was thinking I could like publish the video, like how do I say, like time it, but if it's that long, then maybe not.
Oh yeah, because we wanna match it with the E3 on next year.
Yeah.
So that's what plan is on July, maybe June, end of June, something like that, but around July.
Yeah. In that case, I'll start editing the video, and when I'm finished and release it, I'll notify you.
Okay, that's right.
Okay.
Thank you for the interview.
Nah, thanks to you.
All right. See you.
See you. Bye bye.